Again, I think I'm uniquely qualified and had the experience to answer the question very easily, and the answer is we need to have one class of deputy sheriffs again. I mentioned earlier about having connection with the top and the bottom, having summits. I had a summit with the detention deputies and listened to them for an entire day, actually 2 different days, about the issues they were having, how they felt about their supervisors, how they felt about in the department, what they'd like to see happen. That's listening. And out of that, I was convinced that we have a flawed program. And that's the problem. It's a program. It's not the way we do business. What started in 1988 as an experiment to see how we could do this has evolved over time into an organization now where we have from deputy sheriff to commander in a different classification of peace officer. And by the way, they are peace officers, full power peace officers, but while on duty. And they can go out and work in the fires and do things. So law allows that when there's declared state of emergency. But the problem is they're not trained to do that. There's a big gap there. Sheriff Collender asked me to do the research on this. It took 4 months, 50-page report. Conclusion, we need to have one class of deputy sheriff. We spend so much money in hiring detentions deputy sheriff, and they're trained and they do their job and they do a good job at that, and they decide they want to get more pay and they go on to be in law enforcement. So we got to rehire them again, put them back through an academy, 6 more months, train them again, thousands of hours wasted. Meanwhile, back at their job in a jail, there's an overtime position being filled. When we look at that cost, we don't factor that in. We just look at salaries. They're paid 50% less than a regular deputy sheriff, a full law enforcement deputy. I will move towards that. We're going to go back to having one classification of deputy sheriff, and that's very clear in my mind. It's the right thing to do for a number of reasons. We can still have a career path in both options. You can stay in the jail your entire career if you want. I'm not going to make you leave the jail. We don't have to train anybody. The department did not opt to exercise their right to combine one class because of a training issue, and they were wrong.